thank you, truly, for your generosity. At this time, it is my great pleasure to invite the President of P2P Canada, Ms. Rak Lasanu, to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. Wasn't he an amazing MC so far? Inspiring. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and P2P family, a heartfelt welcome to the 26th P2P Annual Gala. It is a profound honor to stand before you as we reflect on the year that has been defined as resilience, compassion, and tangible impact. And in this room, each one of you, this community, is the reason those moments exist. Now, when we stepped into 2025 last year, we carried a simple but powerful vision that a child's beginning should never define their future. And the gap between vulnerability and opportunity, it is a gap we can and we will bridge together. Today, I can proudly say that because of your unwavering support, P2P Canada not only meets its goal, it leads by example and sets a powerful standard for what committed community can achieve together. Over the past year, several more children who have been in our orphan sponsorship program from the young age graduated from post-secondary and transitioned to self-sufficiency. And now they too are determined to pay it forward, just as you saw in the video previously. No words can express our gratitude for your help in lifting these young lives from destitution to a promise. And the impact doesn't end with them. It strengthens the entire community. As we celebrate each graduate, we're able to welcome new orphans, vulnerable children from all long waiting lists. 6.5 million children in Ethiopia are still waiting, keeping our cohort right now at 300 children. Yet, as you heard from the MC Ben, dynamic, the need in Ethiopia is greater than ever. Because of that, we have set an ambitious goal, an objective to grow the program to accommodate 500 children over the next 3 years. Because we know we have a proven model, the support of a wonderful community, an outstanding partnership in Ethiopia. That gives us the confidence that we can and we will deliver on that promise. Closer to home here, the Sound the Horn program, Youth in Transition Mentorship Program. And when Ben was talking about his childhood, I wish the Sound the Horn program was there to even support him. In the GTA, the Sound the Horn program continues to uplift and empower more young people every year. Mentor and mentees feedback shows just how much it's helping youth navigate major transitions, school, work, social integration, with confidence and support. We've strengthened the program with new elements to support our youth success even farther. And later this evening, our program lead, Belaine Tamuru, will share more of the evolution and the impact the Sound the Horn program has had in our community. All this work aligns with our 3-year strategy to build capacity and together with our partners, address key health determinants and barriers within our community. Now, we all know none of this would be possible without the people and people to people. While it's very difficult to name all contributors throughout the 26 years, I would like to highlight some for tonight. A heartfelt gratitude goes to our orphan sponsors. You've seen that list on that video. There's many of them. Your monthly commitment It is the heartbeat of the organization. You are giving vulnerable children a future they once thought impossible. I hope there's going to be more lanterns turned on today. Our partners in Ethiopia, Haido and Hana Orphan Home, and our local GTA collaborators, thank you for your unfailing support. Our partners and funders, especially Taibu and his remarkable Liban, you guys all know him. Thank you for your steadfast support and for leading the way in uplifting our community. Our platinum sponsor, the Spirit of Africa, our pride, Ethiopian Airlines, and a heartfelt thank you to our area manager, Mr. Girma Kabeda. Our gold sponsors, Tvberhan from Triple Factory Corporation, thank you. Also, the lovely Lucy Killisan from Candy Eyes Jewelry for supporting and donating, once again, this year's customized, unique jewelry for P2P. Now, you all know P2P's heart will not beat for 26 years without our incredible volunteers. From our board members, and I don't know where the board members are, for many years, for 26 years, and our dedicated young volunteers. Today, there's over 30 young volunteers running this event from the get-go. They're spending countless hours throughout the year helping out with many of our activities, projects, and events. I have to say, one of the things I'm most proud of P2P is our ability to offer a welcoming, reliable space where young people can learn, grow, and build skills and confidence through meaningful volunteer experience. What inspires me most is how these volunteers, these roles that they come and get involved in, it's not about high school credit or co-op stints anymore. It's a true leadership pathway we've intentionally nurtured and shaped over the years. And as someone who started as a young volunteer myself, about 15 years, 18 years ago, I stand here tonight as proof of what that pathway can create. So to the entire P2P family and the community at large, whether you sponsored a child, attended a fundraiser, a gala like this one, volunteered your time as a mentor, provided financial support, sponsored our annual fundraising, marathons, and summer fair, or just simply say, Gobez Bertu, you are the reason we can keep our promise to the community here in Canada and for our children in Ethiopia. We have proven when we act together, distance is no barrier for hope. So in closing, as we move into 2026 and beyond, let's carry this momentum forward, because together we're changing lives, we're building futures, and we're creating a legacy of hope that will echo for generations. So let me leave you with one ask tonight. If you haven't sponsored a child yet, today is a perfect day to become someone's hero. If you're already involved, get more involved. We need all of the help that you can get. There's young men and girls falling between the cracks because they need a mentor. And if you're still warming up and haven't sponsored a child, buy those raffle tickets. Who knows? You might change a life and find yourself sipping champagne, 30,000 feet with the legroom first class with a winning ticket. So please buy those raffle tickets. And finally, thank you to each one of you who made this event even more special by gracing us with your presence. We all have sacrificed something tonight to be here, as this is a mission beyond ourselves. So I sincerely thank you. I hope you have a fabulous time and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you, Ms. Rak, for that beautiful and inspiring address. Everybody, one more time, give it up for Ms. Rak. Appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker this evening, Mr. Alemayo Conde Koira. Alemayo is a seasoned international development executive with more than 30 years of leadership experience across Africa, the United Kingdom, and here in Canada. He is the founder and CEO of the Sankofa Afro-Canadian Mentorship Plus Hub, a nonprofit organization advancing the success of Afro-Canadian youth through mentorship, skills, development, entrepreneurship, and financial literacy. Previously, Alemayo served as the inaugural country director for the MasterCard Foundation in Rwanda and Ethiopia, establishing its first offices in Africa, and managing portfolios exceeding $550 million US. He had a lot of responsibility. Earlier in his career, as a senior program manager in Toronto, he co-developed transformative initiatives in youth employment, education, agriculture, and financial inclusion, including the Foundation's pioneering agriculture program and the globally renowned Scholars Program. Alemayo has also held senior leadership roles with Plan International and CPAR and contributed to the Sustainable Livelihoods Framework at the University of Sussex. A respected mentor, he continues to empower African and Afro-diaspora leaders worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Ato Alemayo Conde Koira to deliver tonight's keynote address.
በጣም ታምራላችሁ። Good evening. Thank you for the warmth in this room. It has been so emotional. From the very moment the MC started until now, it has been emotional. Will I take you that long or will I make it shorter? Thank you for the warmth and for the commitment, care, and responsibility each of you represent. Tonight is a celebration, but more than that, it is a moment to reflect on something together, how communities are built, sustained, and renewed across generations, across countries, cultures, and very different life experiences. I have learned one simple thing. Strong communities do not begin with resources. They begin with responsibility. Responsibility to people whose lives are shaped by what we choose to do. Everything I want to share tonight flows from this very idea. When we speak about responsibility, we are also speaking about leadership. Not leadership as a title or as a position, but leadership as how we act when responsibility is placed on our shoulders. For me, leadership did not begin in the boardrooms. It began in communities, where potentials was clear to the people themselves, but often overlooked by the system, wherever they are. Over time, I learned this. Leadership is not about being seen. It's about being accountable. And when leadership is practiced that way, impact follows naturally. Impact is not about recognition. It's about what changes in others because we choose to show up, because we choose to come up to support. It is the moment a young person stops asking, do I belong? And starts asking, how could I contribute? That understanding reshaped how I see service and volunteerism. Volunteerism is often described as giving back. But what life has taught me is this. We are not returning favors when we do volunteerism. We are responding to responsibility. True service does not ask, what did I receive? It asks, what is required of me just right now? Not because someone deserves it, not because recognition will follow, but because someone really needs it. And if service were only about giving back, how would we ever repay true love? የማታውቋት ጎረቤታችሁ መንገድ ላይ ስታገኛችሁ እግራችሁን ጥልፍ አድርጎ ሲጥላችሁ እኔ ልደፋ ሲሉ ምን ማለት ነው? Can you repay that? Can you repay that sacrifice for someone who says, just on your place, let me die, for a person which he doesn't know? That's so service, so it is, the love is not repaid. It is carried forward. That understanding was shaped me in an early life through something as simple and as profound as a name. In my culture and in many African countries, a name is never accidental. It carries memory, it carries responsibility, and it carries direction. That's why when we named the work we are now building a new organization, but an idea that lived in our hearts for many years, we chose to say it Sankofa. Sankofa means going back and get it, going back and fetching it. Not to live in the past, but to retrieve what is wise and valuable, so the future can stand on something solid. Sankofa exists because too many young people, especially African Canadian youth, carry talent and ambition, yet navigate complex systems without any support, by themselves, without guides, and without someone who truly sees them. What we aim to build is a structured mentorship and clear pathways, so young people are not left to figure life out themselves, by themselves. Because mentorship, when done right, it is not advice given from the above. It is not a teacher-student relationship. It's not a father-son relationship. It's not do this and don't do that. It's a wisdom walked alongside together. And we know this. No organization builds community alone. So tonight, in a room that includes organizations like People2People, which you have heard about, with decades of experiences serving communities in Canada and Ethiopia, I say this with humility. Sankofa is eager to learn from those who have walked this path longer, and to share lessons shaped through years of working with young people across different communities and countries. Sankofa's journey is an open invitation to explore partnership, not just around programs, but around shared purpose. That belief of carrying forward what others interests us, it began with names. Speaking about names further, I think I shared this 9 years ago to the University of Toronto graduating class. So I will repeat it briefly. In my culture, names are not just labels. They are wishes, prayers, and expectation placed on a life. My name, Alemayo, speaks about a bright future arriving through me. My elder brother's name reflects deep hope. You can guess Ethiopians. ተስፋዬ ማለት ነው. My younger brother's name speaks of survival. His name was Tarafa. Together, those names told a story. Hope must endure, survival must be protected, and the future must be carried forward. They taught me this. Life is not only about becoming who you want to be, but about living up to what your community interests you. And a name is a direction, not a destination. And the direction is not chosen only in comfort. It is tested when even life becomes difficult. For me, as Alemayo, that test came in a very real way, in a way I never expected and could not avoid. This takes me to a chapter of my life that raises a quiet question, even for me. I spent, put in quotation spent, I spent 8 years in the prison. Over time, I have wondered how these years should be counted. As time lost, or as years that carried more life than most. I don't share this to romanticize pain. Those years were difficult, uncertain, and deeply human. But I have come to understand this. They were not simply years I spent. They were years that shaped me, formed who I am now. In that place where tomorrow was never guaranteed, I came to understand community in its most fundamental form. Inside prison schools, we taught one another just freely, not for recognition, not for reward, but because education became a lifeline when hope was scarce. We did not know what would become of us, but even there, we chose to dream for others. Years later, many of those young men and women went on to live lives of purpose, and those, in turn, to support others. That is impact without transaction. That is service without expectation. So, prison taught me something simple. When service is about what we get, it does not last. Service lasts when it is about others. But when it is driven by responsibility and care, it multiplies, often far beyond what we imagine. It also taught me something about humanity. In a single day, you can witness anger, you can witness regret, you can witness hope, and you can witness silence from the same a single person who you saw in the morning during all this time. And yet, when people are truly listened to, dignity survives, even in that confinement. That's where I learned to learn. That's where I learned to unlearn. That's where I learned to relearn. That is where I learned that service often begins not by fixing, not by judging, not by sitting with another person's pain, but by sitting with another person's pain with presence and care. So before I speak about the future, let me share something a bit lighter. As an undergraduate student, I was one of the top 2 table tennis players in my university championships. I hope you will allow me to boast a bit. Back then, I believed speed and competition were everything. That game taught me discipline and focus, how to compete without losing community. Now, years later, and a little wiser, not to say aged, I find myself playing pickleball twice a week. Pickleball, as some of you may know, it is a fascinating hybrid of table tennis, ground tennis, and squash. And it's apparently very well designed for people who are becoming experienced. But what I love most is this: the game changes, yet the values remain. Discipline, adaptability, teamwork, and joy. It also reminds me an old story I admire, the story of Caleb from the book of Joshua. A man well advanced in years, yet still stepping forward with strength, purpose, and readiness, not because time passed by him, but because he refused to let age define his contributions. And perhaps that's a lesson for life and leadership as well. We don't stop growing because we age. We grow because we keep adapting, and because we keep showing up for others. That brings me to the future. Imagine a Canada where Afro-Canadian youth don't just survive systems, but help shape them. Imagine elders who walk alongside the next generation, offering wisdom, strength, and hope as responsibility moves forward. That's why I believe deeply and unapologetically in the future we can build together. I believe in Afro-Canadian youth not defined by barriers, but by possibility. I believe in mentorship that is intentional, and in generations working together. And I believe that when Afro-Canadian youth thrive here, they contribute not only to Canada, but to more just, connected, and human world. That's what it means to lead with impact. So, tonight, it's not just celebration. It is an invitation to mentor, to partner, to walk alongside young people, not as saviors, but as believers in their potentials, as believers in their talents. If we respond with responsibility, humility, and care, the future we hope for will not simply arrive. We will build it together. May the work of your hands continue to bring life, dignity, and hope to others. Thank you.
وهيمنة كتن بفكر ينورنبات እናት ኢትዮጵያ ቤት ወጥታ በጎጆ ያልከን ሙሽርነቷ እማማ እናት ኢትዮጵያ እማማ አንቺ እናት ዓለም እማማ እናት ኢትዮጵያ እማማ አንቺ እናት ዓለም
I'm